Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you. I was asked to talk about the economic value of city parks, but I think Kevin and Amanda have done such a good job. I don't want to repeat that. Thank you very much for your good explanation. It's really excellent. I also wanted to, I'm sorry that Jay left, because I wanted to especially acknowledge the Forest Service as doing really fabulous research. Please pass that on to Jay, where I think the Forest Service, the kind of research that the Forest Service does is so valuable to all of our efforts in terms of really getting some hard numbers on this. I think I'll just spend a couple of moments giving some thoughts, as opposed to reiterating some of these economic values, which are excellently presented here. You know, when we walk around the halls of Congress, very often people say, well, you know, it's city parks are wonderful, go talk to your mayor, you know, keep up your good work, but these are urban parks, and it's really something you got to go back to your city council to deal with. There's really not a role for the federal government here. And actually that is borne home by the fact that city parks is one of the few areas that really doesn't have a home here in Washington in terms of a federal bureaucracy. You got the Interior Department that runs the National Park Service, and they care about parks, but they don't know that much about cities, and it doesn't really have that much of a mandate to deal with cities. And you have the Department of Housing and Urban Development that knows a lot about cities and housing, and doesn't know that much about parks. And so even our very issue doesn't have a home base. Practically everybody that comes to Washington to lobby has a home base with some federal agency here. We don't even have that. And very often the congressmen that we meet with are saying, well, you know, why are you telling me this? You really need to talk to your mayor about that. But I think it's very valuable what all of you who are coming from out of town are doing, going door to door, talking with your congressmen and congresswomen, and need to keep doing that, because we have to say to them that city parks are as an important agenda item for Congress as our transportation system is to Congress. And really, if you think about our road system, why Congress treats our roads as being of national significance and our parks as not being of national significance, it's purely a question of how much political power we're able to muster and bring to the table. And basically, if a topic is, if you can develop political power behind a topic, it becomes of national significance, and if you can't, it doesn't become of national significance. So if you're told that, the answer to that is yes, we are as important as a lot of these other factors, and we're going to come back with more people every year to reiterate that message. And that's why Alliance for Community Trees exists, that's why the City Parks Alliance exists, that's why all of these support organizations here in Washington and around the country exist, to build up that power base, and we need to keep coming back year after year with more people to say that. And I want to tell a little anecdote that Professor John Crompton told that relates to this, some of these economic issues that have been discussed today. John is a professor, some of you have seen him down in College Station, Texas, with Texas A&M University. And he told this story that every year his little town of College Station has a big baseball championship. I forget what it is, Little League championship or a high school baseball championship. It's a pretty big deal in his town, and thousands of players, young baseball players and their parents and their cousins and friends and brothers and sisters all come to town. It's actually a very big deal in College Station. So every year when the event's over, the mayor and the city council invite the members of the city administration that organizes this thing to come in and give a report on the event. So he invites the park director. He invited the park director, gets up in front of the city council, tell us how this event worked. The event was fabulous. We had 15,000 people come to town, and everybody had a great time, and they loved it. Everything worked without a hitch. The only minor problem was that we lost about $17,000 because we had lighting expenses and we had fixing up the fields, and so everything was great, but we lost money on it. He said, damn it, every year you lose money on these things. You bring all these people into town and you're still losing money, and you know, we really can't keep funding your program if you keep losing money on this. Thank you very much. Then he invites the tourism director for the city to come up. Okay, how did it look to you? The event was unbelievable. We had 17,000 room nights sold because of this event. The city made $21 million off of this event. It was unbelievable success for the city of College Station. Good job. We're going to give you more money for the good job that you did promoting tourism in our city. It was the same event. It was played on ball fields that were run and maintained and created by the Parks Department. This was a parks event. But it was how they sliced and diced the definition of the event. If you look in the small universe of parks and how well we maintain the field and how much it costs us to do it, you get a small answer. If you look at the big picture of what your parks do for your city, you get the big picture. We have to keep doing that in everything we're doing. It was a funny remark early this morning back at the law firm when somebody said, "Where do the Tea Party people hold their rallies?" Well, of course, yeah, let's tell the Tea Party people. You couldn't even hold your rallies if we didn't have parks to do that. So we're an integral part of every aspect of our cities, suburbs, small towns. The Congresswoman has a kind of a split personality as to who she represents. But you know, the parks are a tremendous part of everything we're doing, and that's our message to Congress, that this is where the social life of our community lives and expresses itself. And of course, if you're an economist, you're going to tote up the dollar values, and that's important, and so we can give the message back. If you're a tree person, you're going to tote up the trees. But basically, this is, you know, we're talking about our social life and how important we are to it, and that's what Congress needs to be reminded of every time we make these rounds. Thank you.